HIV testing and counseling is a key strategy to prevent and control HIV infection among young people. It helps you to know your HIV status and to access appropriate care and treatment if you are positive. It also helps you to reduce your risk of getting or transmitting HIV if you are negative. HIV testing and counseling is recommended for all young people who are sexually active or have other risk factors, such as injecting drugs, having multiple partners, or having sex with someone who is HIV positive. You should get tested at least once a year, or more often if you have a high risk of exposure. HIV testing and counseling is confidential and voluntary. You have the right to decide whether to get tested or not, and to receive accurate and non-judgmental information and support before, during, and after the test. You do not need parental consent or permission to get tested if you are above the legal age of consent in your country. There are different types of HIV tests available, such as rapid tests that give results in minutes, or laboratory tests that take longer but are more accurate. Some tests can also detect recent infections or co-infections with other sexually transmitted infections. You can choose the type of test that suits your needs and preferences. You can access HIV testing and counseling services in various settings, such as health facilities, community centers, schools, mobile clinics, or even at home. You can also use self-testing kits that allow you to test yourself privately and conveniently. However, if you use a self-test, you should always confirm your result with a trained provider and seek counseling and linkage to care if needed. HIV testing and counseling is not only a one-time event, but an ongoing process that can help you to protect your health and well-being. By knowing your status, you can make informed decisions about your sexual and reproductive health, access prevention options such as condoms or pre-exposure prophylaxis, PrEP, and get timely treatment and care if you are living with HIV. HIV testing and counseling is a powerful tool to fight HIV with care and compassion. It can help you to live a healthy and fulfilling life, regardless of your status. It can also help you to reduce stigma and discrimination against people living with HIV, and to promote solidarity and support among young people. If you want to get tested for HIV or learn more about HIV testing and counseling services in your area, you can contact your local health provider, youth organization, or hotline. You can also visit these websites for more information. Insert relevant websites here. Remember, getting tested is the first step to take charge of your health and future. Young people are not only affected by HIV, but also play a vital role in fighting it with care and compassion. In this section, we will look at some examples of how young people show solidarity and empathy towards people living with HIV, and how we can encourage more of these positive attitudes and actions. One example of compassion is providing support and counseling to people living with HIV. This can help them cope with the emotional and social challenges of their condition, and reduce the stigma and discrimination they may face. For instance, Compassion International is an organization that helps children and their families affected by HIV through life-saving antiretroviral drugs, counseling, transportation to clinics, and AIDS education. Another example of compassion is creating safe and inclusive spaces for people living with HIV to connect and share their experiences. This can help them feel less isolated and more empowered to live positively. For example, Positive Peers is a private support app designed specifically for teens and young adults living with HIV. It allows them to chat with peers, access health information, track their medication, and get tips on managing stress. A third example of compassion is raising awareness and educating others about HIV and how to prevent it. This can help reduce the myths and misconceptions that fuel fear and prejudice towards people living with HIV. It can also inspire more people to get tested and know their status. For example, the CDC provides HIV information and resources for youth, such as fact sheets, videos, posters, and social media campaigns. The CDC also promotes communication between youth and their parents or families about HIV. These are just some of the ways that young people are fighting HIV with care and compassion. But there is still more that can be done to encourage more empathy and understanding among youth. Here are some suggestions. Learn more about HIV and how it affects people's lives. You can find reliable information online or from your healthcare provider. Get tested for HIV regularly if you are sexually active or have other risk factors. You can find a testing site near you or order a home testing kit online. Talk openly and respectfully about HIV with your friends, family, partners, and community. You can use the compassion-focused therapy model to help you communicate with sensitivity and kindness. Support organizations and initiatives that work to prevent and treat HIV, and to improve the lives of people living with HIV. You can donate money, volunteer your time, or join a campaign. Be a role model for compassion and solidarity towards people living with HIV. You can show empathy, respect, acceptance, and kindness to everyone you meet. By doing these things, you can make a difference in the fight against HIV. You can also help create a more compassionate world for yourself and others.